What's up, YouTube? This your boy Tone here to talk to you today in regards to your credit and everything that affects it. There's 5 factors in which affects your credit score, and we're going to talk about those today. So let's talk money. So before we get into the credit factors, you guys kind of want to know, why am I even qualified to talk about something like this? So I would say 5 or 6 years ago, I probably had like a 550, 530 credit score. I dug in and did all the research I could. I read the Fair Credit Reporting Act, Fair Debt Collecting Act, all the different acts that you can think about credit and how it works. And I went to work sending out letters, trying to fix my own credit. And today I have an 800, over 800. It fluctuates, but most recently it was like 812. So that's my credit score today. So uh, almost a 300-point difference from when I started. Best you can get is 850. So I'm not really pressing to get any higher than that. It'll come with time, but that's what makes me feel like I qualify to talk about a topic like this. The first factor that affects your credit is the number one factor, which makes up 35% of your credit score, and that is your payment history. What's involved in your payment history is all the bills that you pay, credit card bills, mortgage, personal loans, anything that you pay on a monthly basis and you miss a payment, that goes into your payment history. So payment history is kind of a slippery slope, man. You got to be 98% or better for it to even be good. So as soon as you drop into 97 or below, you're taking a big hit to your credit score, which can be, honestly, everything else can be good. And your 97% payment history can bring you down into the low 600s, honestly. All right, so then we have the next biggest thing in your credit report and your credit score is your credit utilization. So what your credit utilization is basically your revolving debt or your credit cards. They call that revolving debt, meaning you can pay for something, pay it off, and it comes back. And that's not to be confused with installment loans, which are, you take out this loan, you pay the money back, and once you pay it all back, it's now closed. So revolving, you use it, pay it off, you can use it again. Installment, you use it, pay it back, and it's closed. Okay, so revolving credit, you want to keep, so the industry standard for revolving credit is you want to keep it below 30%. But what I found that helped me break into, I've always been in the, for the past couple of years, I've been in the 700 range. And I always thought, man, I know you got to be damn near 40 to have 800. That's not the case. I just turned 30, and as soon as I got my utilization to under 10, matter of fact, under 5%, that's when I finally cracked into the 800s. So to have the most optimal credit score, you want to be under 5-10%. But industry standard says 30%. As long as you're keeping it low, you're not having maxed out credit cards. And how that percentage works is, it can be, you have 100, just example, you have $100 credit limit, you want to spend $30 or less on it. So $1,000, $300 or less. And like I said, just to be optimal, $1,000, $100 or less. That's going to get you the best credit score. The next factor in your credit score is, which is 10% of your credit score, and that is your mix of credit. Basically, that is how many different types of accounts you have. Not how many accounts you have, but how many different types. You might have 2 revolving credit cards, 2 installment loans, student loans, mortgages, real estate. It's just having, basically, when a bank looks at your credit report, they can see like, okay, he or she has experience managing this type of credit, this type of credit, and this type of credit, and they pay all their bills on time, and they're able to manage all of this credit with the low utilization. So I should be able to trust them with giving them whatever they're applying for. That's kind of how mix of credit works. And the last 10% of your credit score is going to be inquiries or new credit. So I don't know if everybody knows this, but every time you apply for a credit card, a loan, auto loan, mortgage loan, it hits you with something called a hard inquiry. Basically, what that does is they're looking at your credit report, and that can take away 2 to 5 points for each one. So it's okay to have maybe 2 or 3, but once you start getting into over 3 or 4, then you're gonna have issues, because everyone's gonna keep hitting your credit score for another inquiry, another couple points. They do expire or fall off every 2 years, so kind of space out if you're applying for different loans or you're trying to get different types of credit, and you kind of want to stack it up all back to back. Kind of want to space it out. Every couple months you apply for that, and then by the next time something's falling off, and then you can do it again. So you don't want to apply for too much at the same time. And okay, that might scare you, because it's like you apply for too much at the same time. Like when you go get an auto loan, they're running your credit like 47 times just for one car. So the catch to that is, when you run your credit for the same purpose within a 30-day period, it technically is only supposed to count as one. So take that for what you will. I know, but it kind of looks messy when you're looking at it on your credit report. Okay, so the last thing is, I guess I said last thing last time, but another thing that can affect your credit score, it's not actually a part of the factors, but when you don't pay your bills on time, it hits you for 2 things. It can actually it's gonna do both. It's gonna take down your actual payment history, and then if you don't pay it off long enough, it can turn into a collection account. Don't want those on your credit report. Collection account is going to drop your credit score drastically. The good thing about it is, the older it is, the less it's going to affect your credit, but it's still going to affect it. So it's not going to affect. So let's just say, so they fall off every 7 years, but let's just say you've had it on there for 6 years. It's not going to have as much of an impact on your score. But if you come to me trying to get money for I'm a bank, you're trying to get a personal loan, and I see this derogatory mark as collection account, that's just gonna make me slightly less likely to give it to you, even though it's old, but it's still there. Well, thank you all for watching. I do appreciate it. Make sure you like the video, share the video, and subscribe for more finance content. Thank you. So I did forget one part of the video. I don't know how I came across it when I was editing. One of the other factors of the 10% would be age of credit. This is kind of important. So basically, from the first credit line you ever opened to now, it's kind of like an average of all the ages of credit. So that's why you always hear people say, don't close your oldest account, because that can also lower your credit score, because now all the age and seasoning that your credit has had is gone, and now all your credit report is relying on are the newer items. So best thing you can do is try to keep anything that's old open, especially if it's a no annual fee credit card. Those are the best things. Just keep open. If you have an annual fee credit card, weigh the perks and see if that's something you want to keep open. But if it's really old, see if you can contact the card provider and ask for a lower option that doesn't have an annual fee. That way you can keep the history, but also not pay that annual fee every year if you get to a point where you don't need it anymore. Thank you.